My name is David Gray-Hammond. I'm an autistic person, I'm ADHD, I'm also a writer, a consultant, and someone who has spent a significant part of my adult life trying to understand and then explain what it means to be neurodivergent in a world that wasn't really designed with us in mind. Over the years, I've written extensively about neurodivergence, about autism, ADHD, about the intersections between mental health and neurodivergent identity, especially where it connects with my experiences of substance use, from which I'm 10 years in recovery, and schizophrenia, which is something that I have as part of my identity. I've worked with individuals, with families, with organizations, and through all of that, one thing kept coming up. People were doing this alone, not because they wanted to, but because the spaces that were supposed to support neurodivergent people often weren't built by neurodivergent people. And that gap, that absence of community that genuinely understands from the inside, is what NeuroHub Community exists to address. Here's something I noticed again and again. Neurodivergent people are often incredibly good at finding information about themselves. We research, we read, we go deep. But information isn't the same as community, and community isn't the same as belonging. A lot of spaces that exist for neurodivergent people, and I say this with respect for the people doing good work in those spaces, are built around deficit, around what we struggle with, around what we need to manage or compensate for. And that framing, however well intentioned, misses something really important. Neurodivergent people are not a problem to be solved. We are people with full, complex inner lives, with strengths that go unnamed, with well-being needs that are specific and real, not in spite of how our brains work, but because of it. NeuroHub Community was built on a different premise. Not, here is what is wrong with you and here is how to fix it, but here is a space that was made for you by people who understand what you're navigating, because we're navigating it too. I built NeuroHub Community because I needed something like it to exist, and because I was in a position to try and build it. That's as honest as I can be about where it came from. So, what is NeuroHub Community, practically speaking? At its heart, NeuroHub is a community and content platform built by and for neurodivergent people. It lives at neurohubcommunity.org, and it's growing. There are a few things that NeuroHub does. There are a few things that NeuroHub does. First, and this is something I'm particularly proud of, we produce well-being content that is genuinely designed for neurodivergent minds, not adapted from neurotypical frameworks and adjusted as an afterthought, built from the ground up with neurodivergent experience at the center. That includes guided meditations, which you may have already come across, and you can find on our website or on the Insight Timer app, that address things like interoception, emotional regulation, sensory processing, and burnout in language that actually makes sense if your brain works the way ours do. But NeuroHub isn't just content, it's a community, a space where neurodivergent people can connect with each other, with resources, and with work that takes their experience seriously. A space where you don't have to explain yourself from the beginning every time, where the baseline assumption is that you know your own mind. Everything that comes out of NeuroHub, every piece of content, every resource, every community decision goes through me and the people that I'm supporting. I'm not a figurehead for someone else's organization. I'm not a brand ambassador. NeuroHub Community is my work. I founded it. It reflects my values, my experience, and my genuine commitment to this community. If you've ever read anything I've written or heard me speak, NeuroHub Community is the home that work comes from. I want to be clear about who NeuroHub Community is for, because I think sometimes people find NeuroHub Community and aren't sure whether they belong here. So let me be direct. If you are autistic, NeuroHub Community is for you. If you are ADHD, NeuroHub Community is for you. If you're dyslexic, dyspraxic, dyscalculic, NeuroHub Community is for you. If you have a mental health condition or a traumatic brain injury or anything that changes your cognition and the way you relate to the world, NeuroHub Community is for you. If you're still figuring out whether you're neurodivergent and experimenting with breaking down the neuronormativity of society, NeuroHub Community is for you. If you're a parent, a partner, a professional who loves or works with neurodivergent people and wants to understand more deeply, you're welcome here too. What NeuroHub Community is not, and I'm being honest about this, is a space that asks you to perform recovery or productivity or positivity. You don't have to be doing well to belong here. You don't have to have your diagnosis sorted to belong here. You don't have to be further along than you are. You just have to be someone navigating a neurodivergent life. That's the qualification. We don't ask for paperwork. If any of what I've said resonates, here is where to find us. The home of everything, NeuroHub Community, is neurohubcommunity.org. You can find our online community at connect.neurohubcommunity.org and our Substack newsletter at news.neurohubcommunity.org. You'll find our well-being content, including the guided meditation series. You'll find ways to connect with the community, and you'll find more of my writing work in one place. You can also find me, David Gray-Hammond, across the NeuroHub community channels. I'm present in this community, not in a passive brand management way, actually present. I am a part of this community. If you have questions, thoughts, or just want to say hello, I'd genuinely like to hear from you. Email me at david@neurohubcommunity.org. NeuroHub Community exists because neurodivergent people deserve spaces that were made with them for them. And with neurodivergent people in mind, we do not create spaces that tolerate us. We do not create spaces that accommodate us as an afterthought. We create spaces that were built because we matter and because our well-being matters in the same way everyone else's does. I'm David Gray-Hammond. This is NeuroHub Community, and I'm really glad that you're here.